Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Simracing Bible. We are back tonight with some different action. We're in Assetto Corsa this evening because we're going to be checking out some of the Trans Am cars which are available within the sim as a mod. So we have a couple of different mods we're going to be looking at. We have some Trans Am Legends, which are the older classic ones, and then we have the newer Trans Am mods, which we're going to be checking out as well. And just kind of driving both and seeing which one we like best. So bear with me this evening. There could be some technical issues because things have changed. I'll get more into that in a moment. But welcome to it, guys. Good to have you with us this evening. You may have noticed a slight difference in terms of quality of camera. And also there's a little handy little button thing down here on my right-hand side, which is very good indeed. We're getting used to that as well. But yeah, welcome to it, guys. Let's see what we can do this evening and just have a bit of fun and just drive some absolute beautiful cars. So yeah, welcome to it, everybody. Welcome along. Let's get into the game now. Technology works. Look at this. So we're in Content Manager here, of course. So we're going to be running this with the full custom shaders pack and Sol as well. So it should look pretty nice. So what I've got here, I've got it on a track day at the moment, and oops, all right. Hang on a second. There's something I've neglected to do in my translating things across. I have forgotten to put something on here. So just give me one moment. Okay, let's just put that up there. I've got to put my overlay on so I can see what you guys are saying while I'm in the middle of driving. So there we go. Right, so overlay is on, and it's just okay. That's all good. That's fine. Right, let's try that again. Beautiful. Right, okay. Do need to just change the transparency of that as well. There's teething issues this evening, but it's okay. We're all good. So drop the opacity down. There. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. Right, we should be up and running now. Hopefully. That's the main thing anyway. So yes, welcome, guys. Cristanos is here, says, Assetto Corsa finally. Yes, yes, indeed. So I see you took my idea of trying the VRC TA2 cars. Did you have that idea as well? Oh, okay. Well, here we go then. Hey, Steve, how you doing? It says, how's it going? I'm enjoying the Moser R5. It's brill. Excellent news. That's good. Right. So here we go then. So first of all, we're going to test out these different cars. We're going to run them at Laguna Seca just to give some kind of datum line as to what we're looking at here in terms of performance across the different cars. But the AC Legends crew got some very, very nice historic content for Assetto Corsa, and one of them being the Trans Am cars. So we're going to start ourselves off here with this 68 Chevrolet Camaro, which is a beautiful car. So we've got 23 cars on track. We're just doing it as a quick track day, so we have some other cars on there for interest. But let's load in and make sure this all works properly. There you go, beautiful screenshot to look at there. Hopefully you guys are seeing this all correctly as well. That's good, it's all working. That's what we like to see. Yeah, the new Camaro R5, that's the thing with the all the force feedback is actually in the wheel itself, the wheel rim, is it? I haven't properly seen it, but interesting looking stuff. Yeah, so, okay, here we go then. So track day mode. It's, oops, enough photo filter, we don't need that. Evening Funky, welcome along. Cristiano says it looks like something you'd see in a 90s GT prototype. The rim, yes. Okay, so here we go then. Chevy Camaro, first of the cars for this evening. Let's give it some revs. We're already laying some black marks down the exit of the pit lane there by the looks of things. Right. Tight pit lane exit here at Laguna Seca. Right. Up and running. Now the thing with these old classic Trans Am cars. Wow, okay. Something's going on with my force feedback. That wasn't doing that earlier. Hang on a second. Let me just come out of that. And let's do a quick test here of the right profile on there. Curve effects. Bring that down a second. Oh goodness me, it's all going a bit chaotic this evening. It's bit mad. Let's try that again. Yeah, so the reason things are a little bit up on its end is because I have a new PC. The GTX 970 can finally have a brake. Why have I now lost the overlay? Oh, there we go, we're back. Yeah, so I have a new PC, so thank you to the guys at Stormforce Gaming in the UK who very, very kindly hooked me up with a new PC and helped me out with that. And it's a bit of a beast in comparison to the old one, which is a little bit outdated. But it's got an i7 13700K and a 4070 graphics card, so more than enough to be having a mess around with Assetto Corsa here, and running it all nicely as well. Oh, goodness me, some very weird noises coming from my force feedback, but we'll assist with it for the moment. Right. Listen to the sound of that, it sounds awesome. Nice to see the classic Trans Am cars in the mirror there as well. The trickiest corner of the circuit here. Okay, what I'm actually going to do, just because that's sounding very odd indeed, I'm just going to quickly come out of that again. Just bear with me, guys. I'm just going to turn off the wheel and back on again, just in case there's some issues, because I just had a crash part way into loading, or just before we were going live. And don't know whether that's caused some stuff going on in the background, so we'll give it a restart here. If in doubt, just turn it off and on again. That's usually what happens, isn't it? There we go. How do I set up? Yeah, so that's got all the settings I usually run, so I don't know why it's having a moment, but not to worry. Ah, goodness. Yeah, Frankie says, rest in peace, 970, it was faithful, so it's still sat next to me here. It will be used in some other way as well. So, Steve, this is not actually DLC, this is a mod specifically for Assetto Corsa, so... Oh, there we go, that's feeling a bit better. Hey, Marty, welcome along. That's much better, I think. I think we're good now. Again, just that little gremlin that just needed ironing out. But we're up and running. Now we can actually do some driving, shall we? Okay. Yeah, so big thank you to the guys at Stormforce for their advice and for their help in getting the PC, and they delivered it really quickly as well. They were very kind and prioritised my order for me, even with the Easter bank holiday weekend, which was a little bit of a delay in things, but turned it around really quickly for me. So yeah, amazing job from those guys. I would certainly recommend taking a look if you're in the market for a new PC. Definitely worth checking those guys out. Based in the UK here. The corkscrew then. Just get it stopped just about. Oops. Is the game high, is it? Okay, I will turn that down a little bit for you guys. Get this sorted out here. And that down. Hopefully that should be a bit better for you now. Let me know if that's all good, Marty. Old cars, old brakes. Well, that's one solid cone. What just happened there? Let's take a look at that a moment. I'm chased by a Barracuda there. Oh, Dodge Challenger. Look at that! Right over the cone. Launched me up and off we went. That was the end of that. Let's go back to the pits then. Right. What's going on here? So Cristana says, I'd say display the 970 reminds you of where you started. Yeah, definitely. It'll always have a special place in my heart for sure. A very capable card as well. I mean, it took an awful lot of punishment which I was throwing at it with not only streaming but also the games as well. So did very, very well. Earned its rest. Now we have something else to get to grips with, which also means that the future is very bright in terms of what we can do in content. So we can do things such as Assetto Corsa Competizione, we can do things such as R-Factor 2, and numerous other sims which we weren't able to stream a while ago, and we can do now. So good times ahead once we sort it all out. There's lots to get used to. I love the reverbs on the sounds as well. I can just hear it just echoing off the hillside, and when you go past the bridges and the walls and things, it sounds so good. It stopped. That's a little bit of a cut through the corkscrew there. What I do love though is the way you can just manhandle these things. So they're obviously on older tyres and as such don't have the grip of the modern cars that you could race. So they do move around a little bit. And when you chuck it into a corner you can just wrestle it through there and use a bit of the right foot to help with the rotation and things. It's just great fun. Right, no cones to take us off track here. This time we have a clean run into turn 1. The good thing is you have to kind of work the wheel a little bit to actually get it through the corner smoothly now. It's not just a case of just turning in and letting the car just stick and off you go. It's it needs a bit of effort putting into it. So Cristana says, yeah, but will you just do Trans Am? Oh no, there'll be more things we can do. Loads of stuff we can cover in Assetto Corsa, obviously. Frank says that cone must have baked hard in that desert sun. Yes. It's like a rock in the middle of the road. One of the other things we can also do on the channel is we can also explore some options with BeamNG, which is something I really want to try and do a little bit of and see what that's like. It's been a while since I've driven in that particular game. And there's been a lot of development since I've last driven it as well. So let me know what you want to see. If there's something in particular you want me to cover or would like me to do, and we can all get involved with whatever, just let me know. And we'll look to make it happen, because we can look to make it happen, which is nice. Anyway, what about this Camaro then? It's pretty feisty. Obviously, you got a fair amount of power from the big V8. it's quite lively on the way into corners as well. It's kind of backs itself in. You just have to apply some opposite lock and a bit of right foot and off you go. On the back of another Camaro in front of us here. Just hearing it rumbling around here. I'm going to run towards Corkscrew. Stop. That's not stopping. I'll break myself. I don't think I've actually made it through the Corkscrew successfully just yet. So Kristanos, oh sorry, just go back to what Marty was saying earlier. So he says join some open lobbies in AMS2 and AC. Got wrecked one lap on both times, so join the reckless lobby. Can't beat them, join them. Well, why not? If crashing was the name of the game that evening, then that's where you got to go. So Cristiano says Ricardo's onto did that when he overtook Brian Herter on the Corkscrew. Oh yes, and you go over them inside of the corner instead of actually taking the corner. There's been some pretty spectacular moves at that particular part of the track. Right, so we're getting our eye in a little bit now. We're getting used to the car a little bit more. Frank's here. Welcome, Frank says, I harbour some ill sentiment against the GTX 970. Oh no! Oh, come, Frank. Cristiano says the VRC prototype and RSS classic endurance stuff. Yes, I have driven them, just not on the channel. There's another bonk. There we go. Cool. Well, I'm liking this Camaro. It's quite nice to check around. Let's try some of the other Trans Am cars and see how we get on. There's quite a few in the TC Legends one or the AC Legends one. Over here. But yeah, nice strong start with the Camaro. So let's choose something else here. Let's really go back to the top of the list here. This is the original 65 Mustang here. What colour should we go? Choices. Quite like the blue ones actually. They look quite nice. We'll run with that one. Okay, let's go again. Because of the nature of how Content Manager and Assetto Corsa work, I have to alt tab out so I can see the overlay again. Yeah, exactly. I have the power to enjoy the cars now. You're right, Cristiano. So Frank says, don't know exactly why. Maybe the shenanigans concern the false advertising with the VRAM. Oh, okay. I didn't really know anything about that at the time, so for me it was just all good. Yeah, Pontiac kill. Yeah, that one was gone. Right, so the notchback Mustang. This is the more saloony one, which is what would be used in classic touring car races. You kind of associate with the old British Saloon Car Championship, etc., and obviously Trans Am as well. Perhaps a little bit earlier than the Camaro we're driving before. So I expect this would be probably a little bit more softer and rolling through the corners a little more. Very different kind of V8 sound in this one, maybe not quite as aggressive as the Camaro. But the notchback Mustang did appear in the AC Legends Touring Pack as well, I believe, so I'm not sure whether there's much difference between this and that version of it, but it may well be. Try not to lock up in the braking zone there. Again, very loose, as you'd expect with these cars. Perhaps feels a little bit more, I don't know, just understated, I guess. I mean, the Camaro is quite tight in its steering. This one feels a little bit more vague, but then that could well be the cars themselves. Don't expect them to have razor sharp steering. Oh, there's that cone. Missed that one. I don't want to get launched off into the desert again. Yeah, perhaps a little bit more in the way of understeer through there as well. Not so much there though. So Marty said, I check RD every day for new stuff for AC. So many tracks and cars. I guess sim racing audio. It's very easy to build up a large folder size in Assetto Corsa. You really can just go mad with downloading tracks and mods and all sorts of things. I think mine's currently sitting around 110 gig, something like that, which is probably quite small in the grand scheme of things. I do occasionally go through there and just try and have a bit of a cull and remove some stuff I don't need, just to try and free up some space. But I look through them and I'm like, no, I want to keep that, I want to keep that, I want to keep that one as well, and I end up not deleting anything. One of these days I'll have a proper going through of it all. AMC Javelin in front of me, in that classic livery. Let's see if we can hunt him down. Got better brakes than I do. Another one of those. So the V8 sound on the Mustang doesn't quite sound as good as the Camaro. Drive out of it, power out of it. Yeah, the Mustang definitely feels a little bit more, I don't know, lazy, I guess, in its driving. There's a sausage curb. That's the first one of the evening, everybody. Didn't take too long. Maybe I just need to use the torque a little bit more rather than trying to have it in high revs all the time. Finish this lap off and then we'll move on to the next one. So, Christian says, have you tried the JH designed on the Nissan MP35 on AC? I don't believe I have. Just casually around the outside of the corkscrew, as you do. Out of my way, AMC Javelin. But even so, this particular car, even with its more wobbly nature, it's still fun to just throw around corners as well. Just the brakes. Need a little bit more distance to work off them. So I wasn't paying attention to the lap time on the Camaro, but we are running a 42.1 with the Mustang. So let's go and take out the next car and see how that one drives. Alright. Next up on the list is this. This is the Mercury Cougar, which is a nice US muscle car. I do like the shape of the Cougar, actually. I think it's really nice. It sits quite tall, I think. I find it's quite high off the ground, but it's really nice shape. I remember seeing one of these at Santa Pod Raceway in the UK on the drag strip there, which was the first time I saw a Mercury Cougar, and it was, yeah, it's just got nice proportions to the overall shape of it. Let's take this black and red one out here. So let's load in there. 4070 is quite the upgrade from the 970. It is. It is. And yeah, the graphical capabilities are noticeable. Definitely. Right. Mercury Cougar. It's one of those Camaros. Quick sound check. Sounds quite similar to the Mustang actually in its engine note. It probably sounds identical actually. That's all good. Steering's light going into there. Now the cool thing is it's very apparent as soon as we've driven 3 of these cars now that they all drive very differently. So you're not just going to jump into it expecting, oh yeah, it's just a muscle car, it'll drive exactly the same as the other one. They all have their own individual little characteristics on how they drive, so we'll definitely get into that as we go. Okay, so Christian says, like, if not, this is about the Nissan, I can help you on where to get them both on race around. Okay, well, I shall check that out. Stopped into the corkscrew. Oh, Marty, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the 10. That's super, super kind of you. And yeah, it's about time, to be honest. The old one was just hanging on to be alive most of the time, but yeah. It's good to be able to have some performance underneath me. Avoid the landmine cone. Stop. Okay, so the Mustang, which shares the same kind of sounds as this, was a lot easier to control than the Mercury here. Mercury has some serious traction issues. Just have difficulty getting it going in a straight line properly. Dare try and outbrake this Javelin? Yep, we do. Just make ourselves extra wide by throwing it sideways on the exit there. Yeah, so steering is much lighter on the Mercury. Let's get it slowed down earlier. So that we can actually make it through. It's better. No, missed the apex by a mile. Hey Samuel, welcome along. Congratulations on the new PC. Oh, thanks. Yes, we had a serious upgrade. Thick black lines everywhere. All these big V8 muscle cars trying to get the power down. What was that? 49.0. Go down to first for the first corner here, but still ploughing on into the depths of that particular corner. The gaps of these guys ahead of us here. It's nice and gentle on the exit. Again, it's quite rolly, this one. There's a lot of movement in the body, so you see it wallowing around through the corners quite a bit. I can't say the Mercury Cougar is one of the most well-known race cars, or well-used race cars. It's probably quite a rare beast, really. Nowhere near as popular as, say, a Mustang or a Camaro or a Firebird. Just scaring the guy ahead of me there. Seeing that in his mirror, I was thinking, oh no. Oh, went for the cut back there, but getting the power down wasn't easy. It's just a drift car, this thing. I'm probably not treating it right, to be honest. We did improve our lap time to a 48.4 though. Alright, that's pretty crazy, that thing. Let's see what else we've got here. So let's go down the state route here. What have we got? No, we don't want to switch to that, right? So we've driven the Camaro, which is a 68 car, so the 65, good 3 years earlier. The Mercury is only a year younger than or older, sorry, than the Camaro.
Another $5 towards the 970 retirement fund.
Oh, thanks, Frankie. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's well deserved. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate that. Right, next up, 68 car again. This is the Dodge D-Dart. I'm not sure why it's a D-Dart, not just a Dart. Not the pointy one, the car. This is the Dodge D-Dart, which has a couple of options. So I'm going to go with the yellow one here. What our lap time was in the other Mustang, but that 48.4 is what we have to beat. So Marty has been in the 80s Fahrenheit here. Had to buy another fan to keep cool in the rig. Oh wow, okay. Cooking over there. We had a nice day today as well, actually. There was a bit of sunshine, which was very welcome, out and about. A bit of warmth for change. Okay. Already a very different sound on this one. That's the culprit. Keeps putting those landmines in the middle of the track. Right. Let's get out of the pit lane here and see what this Dodge can do. A bit quieter than the other ones. Sash's curve number 2 for the evening. This one sounds like an old Holden Commodore kind of noise, which I associate with like a 1988 or 87, I think it was, the Bathurst I was watching. That kind of era of Holden Commodore. And you're on board with Peter Brock and going down the Conrail straight. That's the kind of noise you hear from the engine. It's quite nice, actually. Running CSP? Yes, absolutely. We're on Sol. We're on Sol Extra at the moment, so we have some excellent shaders going on. I haven't tried Pure yet, though. That's one of the things I've not messed around with. Oh, sounds nice, right. Well, this is an awful lot more controllable than the than the last one. Still has a fair amount of oversteer, obviously, from the sheer power, but you feel you can actually drive it off the corners a little bit more. Look at this lot coming out of here now, causing chaos. Coming out right in front of us as well. So we have someone to play with here. Big rev counter on the top of the dash there. I don't know how period that would be. I don't know whether they'd have big kind of gauges like that. But not to worry. Yeah, this one feels a lot more sorted going into the corners actually. Look at the dive on the car ahead there. It's one for us to try later on. Is that this? Actually, no, it is. That's one of the Dodges that we're in now, actually. I'm not intentionally trying to run into the back of these cars. They just seem to have better brakes than I do, all of a sudden. Trainer cars in front of us here now. Frank says, Marty, oh yeah, you got the fans running on the rig. That's the aircon. Reverse entry into turn 1. Yeah, Winston might be a good idea, Marty. Not exactly the most realistic thing if you're in a saloon car, but certainly helps with keeping it nice and cool. Lots of nice air being blown towards you. We're getting a whole load of heat haze coming up in front of me here as well. Not quite sure where that's coming from, but it's pretty cool anyway. See the distortion in the view ahead. Backing into there, always not always the easier thing to get away with, but in that case. Right, let's let these guys sort themselves out at the top here. Where you're going. Just forcing away at the inside there, or on the outside, shall I say. Still there though. Crunch. Get off. It's just busy turning in on me at the same time as me trying to get around the corner. That last one was a 43.4. We were in traffic a little bit as well, so this one's not going to be much better because we had a moment at turn 1, but this car feels nice. I mean, it's a fair bit quieter than the rest of them that we drive so far. But in terms of its drivability, it's actually quite nice. You can get off the corners quite well. There's a good amount of slip, but not excessively so. And the Mercury Cougar was most extreme with trying to get the power down, but this one actually feels like you can actually get some form of drive off the corner. Now, of course, Trans Am wasn't all about just these V8s. They did actually have some smaller capacity cars driving in there as well, like some old Alpha GTAs. Whereas this particular pack just focuses on the muscle cars. Well, that was a dive bomb. But we didn't hit him. He's going back at me now, look at this. Someone's got some straight line speed. again. Sliding into the side of someone. Right, try and get a clean-ish lap in here. Just to see what this thing can do. It seems to be only hit the brakes, the heat haze appears, whether that's just because it's forcing hot air out of the engine bay. I don't know. But just about kept it on the track. No, that's not staying on. So a 42.1. Kind of what we're looking at for that one. So that one's quite nice. Quite like that one. Let's carry on, see what else we have, because we've got a few more to get through here. So Pontiac Firebird is the next one. This is a 68 version. There's a couple of Firebirds in the pack. This is the 68 version of the car. So we'll run that livery there. If we can beat a 42.1. So what we'll do, we'll drive through them, we'll see how we get on with each of them, and then we'll jump into the more modern ones, compare them, and then we'll put the modern versus the historical on the same track and just have a bit of fun with them there. So here we go then. This is the first of the Firebirds for the evening. There we go, back through it. More raucous V8 sound. Let's see how this thing compares then. Basically straight out of the pit lane there, I can tell that there's a lot less dive on the front end, so that thing's a little bit stiffer sprung. So there's less body roll going on, so let's see how that affects the handling. Might be a little bit sharper. Might also need to stop. Getting tyres. There goes the Mercury. Let's see if we can get the power down. See what I mean though? It looks really tall, doesn't it, the Mercury on the off the road there. You can almost see right underneath it. Spy the corner approaching you with the car right in front of you. It's like a monster truck in comparison. Oh yes, that's much nicer. Still needs to be wrestled a little bit though. All the models of these particular cars, they all look really nice so far as well. Just kind of floating it through the first corner there. Nice that, because you kind of get into that corner and it kind of crosses a little bit of a crown in the road there as well, so you can turn it in and you feel where the road is kind of changes and you have to instantly apply a little bit of correction, and then you can just carry on with trying to turn through the corner as normal. A little bit of cadence braking onto the corkscrew there, just because I felt it lock up a little bit, so I had to release and then get back onto it again. catching up with a few cars in front of us. Just need to pull that back a little bit. That braking zone is too far in today. That's fine. I think she appreciates it. She doesn't do anything of herself, but she can certainly appreciate the different sims that I run. She doesn't drive in real life, you see, so that makes a bit of a difference. So it's a good training tool, I suppose, for her if we eventually get to the point where we can help her with learning to drive. Hopefully she doesn't watch me for any kind of tips. Because cause some serious damage in the real world. Oh, backing up into here, come on. Sweet yourself out. The AI in Assetto Corsa, you probably can already tell, isn't the brightest, but it's not too bad either. It's managed to get 3 cars into one corner there. Well, that's, I was going to say it's already quicker. The last lap before that one was a 41, so the Firebird's got some pace. Marty says my girlfriend goes nuts every time she's been on my rig. Super competitive. Just one more lap, huh? That's the usual way. One more. Yeah, ACAI is brutal. I got the aggression turn up as well, which I think is probably not a great idea. It exaggerates the issue. But I think probably the best AI that I've come across is either in AMS2 or Race Room. What you guys think, but so far that's some of the best that I've come across. Actually have a reasonable race with them. Woohoo! We actually got it stopped for the last corner. Let's see what this kind of lap time's going to be. Corkscrew is a bit of a mess, but never mind. Let's run across the line. There you go. 40.7, so a big difference in terms of lap time compared to the other ones we've driven so far. So that's the benchmark, I reckon. 40.7. The Firebird's nice. Yeah, it feels tight. It feels nice and direct on the steering, but it also still has that sideways feel, which we love. So it's good. Let's carry on down this list then. So next up is the AMC Javelin. There's 2 variants of livery for that, either red on the front or blue on the front. We'll go for a red fronted version, I think. Let's go. Alright, we're getting through the Trans Am classic cars from Assetto Corsa Legends. 470 brake horsepower with the Javelin. Loading in a little bit. Right, here we go. Nice big bulge in the bonnet there from the bonnet scoop. Let's see what the AMC is like. Now, AMC cars, from what I believe, I don't obviously have any experience with driving them in real life, but from what I'm led to believe, AMC cars on the whole weren't very well made or nice cars, but somehow this AMC Javelin race car was actually quite successful and quite popular in motorsport circles. So very similar sound to what we had in the Dodge Dart. So Marty said, I love Detroit Belle Isle. But AI just smacked into me. I don't think I've seen Belle Isle for Assetto Corsa. I have to take a look. I know it's on iRacing, but... This one's got quite heavy steering to it. But then, this is back in the day when power steering wasn't really a thing, so I'm kind of used to that. Actually feels reasonably well sorted as well to drive this one. That's not... Oh, or is it? I honestly didn't think I was going to stop that, but somehow managed to stay on the black stuff. So also for you guys, the good news of having this new PC, of course, means that I can actually edit videos without guessing what's going on, because on the old PC, when I was editing videos, it was very difficult to kind of tell where things were in terms of, you know, if you're cutting a particular section of video, it's kind of up to guesswork and chance as to whether it actually turned out okay. Luckily, most of the time it did. But now I have the power and the capability to be able to edit videos properly, so which means I can actually feel confident in putting videos together and then releasing some more short form stuff rather than just purely the live streams, which we've been doing just recently. So hopefully you should see some more actual uploaded YouTube videos coming up very soon. So positives all round. The size of this Barracuda in front, enormous thing. No way to sneak up the inside into there. See his hands working away on the wheel, just like mine. Proximity indicator says he's still around, so give him some space there. Hey Bill, welcome along, good to have you with us. Stop. He's going to go straight back through, isn't he? There he goes. Get that done again. So Bill says, oh, these are on the race department, driven the 69 Plymouth Valiant. Dodge Dart's just a car for years and want to see how it compares. Oh, okay. I don't believe these ones are actually on race department. I think they're... Yeah, I'm not quite sure of the location of where they are. I know they're on like an actual modder's website. But if you search for AC Legends, I think it's created by an author called Bazza, I think it is. So there's a few different AC Legends packs with various classic touring cars and GT cars and like prototypes like the T70 or the Porsche 917, etc. But yeah, if you do a quick search, they are available to download from there, and definitely worth a go from what I've driven so far. Compressed through that dip there, that was really cool. Hey Raymond, welcome along. I was going to catch the rear quarter of that one then. This AMC's feeling quite nice actually. Again, just enough movement to keep things interesting, but not too much that we can't control, I think. Block pass didn't work there. So Marty says, some mentions about the AMS2 Indie mod, oval version on the Riser forums, still in development coming. Yes. I think one of the guys who was on the stream at the time when we were driving that was saying that they were working on it and it's in development. I think he sent me a message as well on Discord, so looking forward to seeing how that plays out. I'll definitely give those a try when they are released. As I said earlier on, AMS2 absolutely maxed out and running flawlessly on this thing, so very happy man with that. Yeah, definitely take a look, Beryl. Definitely worth a go. If you are struggling, join us on the Discord channel, and I'll find the link and I'll put it on there for you. So 42.6 is our previous lap. So a little bit slower than we were in the Firebird. I do fear that we may have a little bit of traffic to get involved with. Oh. There's some serious sound issues going on here because all the noise around me, so it actually seems to be making my engine sound even quieter than it already is because of the noise of the cars around me, so that's quite cool. I think it's a feature within Content Manager. It makes it quite tricky to hear what you're doing. Yeah, that was a slow lap, 43.4. That's not going to be a quick lap either. Alright. Look at that from the outside, so I think they did say on the mod download that there's varying levels of quality of models from wherever they've got them from, but this particular Javelin looks like it may be slightly lower than the rest of it. It still doesn't look bad at all, apart from all the dirty grazes I've managed to put on it in those few laps, but looks very good. Right, let's carry on and grab the next one here. So that was the Javelin. Next up is another Camaro. We'll again load in. Bill says, I think I found a man, I believe using these cars would be awesome. Yeah, I think with these cars, and then also throw in the likes of some Cortinas, some Alphas, and Minis as like a secondary class, that would be really fun. Tomato says, I've been enjoying RF2 races on low fuel motorsport, also 92 GTM R3E. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I'm still tinkering with the with R-Factor 2. It's just not running as smoothly as I would like. So I need to do a little bit more fiddling around with the settings to try and see how I can improve that. But it's just not smooth. So I'm driving this now, it's just super fluid. I mean, I know AC is considerably older than RF2, but I don't know. I feel like I should be able to at least get it to run nice and smoothly, but so far, not achieving that, so I'll keep persisting. ACC update next week. Yes, I did see that obviously there's content coming with the reverb off the bridge there. New content with the new cars and also Valencia as well. But I did see just before that they've released some information about some tyre and physics updates, so I'll have to read up on that and see what the deal is with that, because it'd be interesting to try. In testing things out with the new PC, I have been doing a few laps on ACC just to see what we can do. It doesn't feel too bad. I know it's modern day GT3 and GT4 stuff, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with the new update. It's supposed to be pretty big, so we'll find out, and obviously we'll cover that once that's released. So we'll do that next week. I think it's out on Wednesday next week. So we might try and do a midweek stream and give it a test. We're losing ground to the car ahead. Will that stop? Will it? Yep. Okay. Consider myself lucky there. A little more understeer going on there. Of course, the obligatory power oversteer you get with these cars. Sure, went down to first gear there, but seemed to get away with that, okay. Oh, just the noise, the blipping going underneath the tunnels and the bridges and things. It sounds so good. Get out of that one early. See if we can nip on the inside. Use a bit of the dirt. Surrounded with the Barracuda. We'll flick into the double left-hander. Been lined up nice and early. The sausage curve. If you're keeping track, I think that was number 3. Well, that I've noticed anyway. It could have been more than that. The United States can only imagine what sim racing options will be in 20 years. Guessing that my dentist will fire by that time. Yeah, I mean, with the way things are going, we've got some stuff in the pipeline. Obviously, we have word of AC2, which is coming sometime next year, I believe. We have Rennsport in the works as well, which is still in development. Maybe going into beta stage for public release soon. We have the new creation by Ian Bell. It's for the sausage curve count. Yeah, so there's the new title which is being worked on there, which got some interesting stuff going on in the background with things such as the AI-powered commentary, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, it'd be exciting to see what happens coming up in the near future. Well, I was saying near future, probably in the next year or so. And, I'm pretty sure that there'll be a lot of community-made stuff still keeping things like Assetto Corsa fresh and current as well. A bit of a chase going on here. No paintwork swaps. You. Whatever line, what have we got with this one? It's a 41.8. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. That one feels nice to drive as well. It's the later version of the Camaro, so a year later, should we say, 69 rather than 68. Right, now it's time to go into the big boy. This is the 1970 Barracuda. So let's see how this thing handles the Monterey hillside here in Laguna Seca. So Marty says, Riser is rather quiet of late. That usually means great things. Yeah, well, I think they're probably hard at work with the historic Nürburgring Nordschleife, which is coming fairly soon, I think. And obviously there's the Südschleife as well, which is the additional one that they've thrown in there just because they wanted to give it a go. So, yeah, we'll have to see. I'm pretty sure we should see something fairly soon because they seemed quite confident with the previous update that we had. Again, this is a rather quiet engine sound in this thing. That's the alternative line out of the pit lane. Alright, back to one of these, are we? Turn. Now, I wasn't expecting this to be filled with poise and finesse. It seems more of a cruise missile than a... I don't know, something that is good at corners. But yeah, I think be in for a challenge with this one. Somewhere like Monza might be a good place for this one, but or maybe not. The brakes might not be able to handle the chicanes. Let's get on the brakes early for the corkscrew. And wallow our way through it. Yeah, it's just a huge amount of understeer. I feel like I'm just kind of tiptoeing around at the moment. Whereas some of the other cars, you can just chuck them into the corner apexes and work your way through. This one doesn't know what an apex is. I'm sure you can find one with it, but at the moment, struggling. But that's alright. Uh-oh, someone's put a cone in the middle of the road. Defensive maneuvers to avoid that. I wasn't the sluggish curve, I had missed it. So with something like this, you almost need to drive it with less aggression, so I've been kind of chucking cars around. But with this, maybe it needs to be a little bit more precise with your throttle inputs and things, just to make sure that you're not just ruining your run off the corner. So I'm going to just drive within its limits and see how quick it goes. Blockage at the top of the hill. Some extra help with rotation from one of our compatriots on track there. Behind the other Barracuda on track. Hey Kevin, welcome along. All the usual suspects are here, of course. Good to have you with us. Martin's girlfriend wants me to get a motion setup. I said, not on my income. Yeah, they are rather pricey. And, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe if it's twinned with VR, which I think... Are you running VR, Marty? Can't remember if you are or not, but... twinned with VR, it might be a little bit better, but... When I tried one with kind of fixed monitors, makes for quite a stomach-churning experience and very disorientating actually when you're trying to drive, because you're moving around quite dramatically, but what you're looking at is not moving, and it just, I don't know, I found it really difficult to focus and concentrate on where I was going. I'm pretty sure that's partly what it is in real life as well. Obviously, the real world doesn't move depending on you in the car, but I think your brain and your eyes have a good way of overcoming that. Whereas for some reason in a sim rig, when you're moving around, it's very difficult to keep that focus. Speaking of which, it's very difficult to keep your rear end in check driving this Cuda. Definitely a very unique driving experience, this one. I feel of the engine wires on the or the wiring on the bodywork kind of uses a fastener to keep things in place. Very cool. Right, that was a 48.2. I'm not expecting that one to be particularly quick anyway, so definitely one for those who like to manhandle their cars around tracks. Right. So we tried one of the Javelins, which is the 69. This is the 70 edition, so different front end on it. With a more of a little, yeah, a little spoiler at the front end there for a bit of aero assistance. And slightly nicer front end. It actually looks kind of Mustang Mach 1-ish actually on the front end there. Choose ourselves a livery. I like the yellow and black actually, that's quite cool. So we'll try that one. So Matt says, I have VR but haven't really dialed it in. Okay, yeah, I thought you had VR. Quad monitor hooked to motion sounds like a pain to set up. Yeah, no, it would be. I think if you're using it, if you got a freestanding monitor mount, then not too bad. But if it's all attached, then yeah, that could be interesting. Kevin says, I tried VR, didn't hate it, didn't love it, stuck to triples for now. Yeah, I think a lot of people preferring triple monitors at the moment. I mean, there's a lot of variety out there for VR headsets. Steady on. Haven't even left the pits yet. Again, this is one of the quieter V8s in this thing. There we go. That was definitely a sausage curve. Hit that one. I think that was number 5. It's definitely a slidey one, this one. Ooh, turn it. Yeah, again, this one feels quite loose on the surface of the road, actually. There's not much in the way of grip turning in. And then rear end happy to come round on you on the exits of the corners as well. Not a car for overdriving, this one. Just sat there in the middle of the corner with lock on, trying to wait for it to grip up before you can start applying some throttle to get off the corner. So Maddie says, I only recently built my rig and the thing I love the most is the triples. My real life car is on its last leg, my fake car is sublime and worth a lot more. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? You know where Marty's priorities are. No, it's how it goes sometimes, isn't it? Being a bit rough on the outside there. Ooh. 6. Whether we'll make it into double figures by the end of the classic Trans Am cars. Probably. Yeah. So Marty says, trying to explain sim racing to normal folks isn't easy. They look at you like you're nuts. It's like, you mean you sit behind a computer screen and pretend like you're driving a real car? Yeah. Of course I do. What's wrong with that? Kevin says he doesn't even own a car. Just trying to cure understeer with just shoe falls or right foot. Okay, that one, yeah, not so much of a fan of that one. Let's carry on. Next up, another Mustang. This is the later one, so the 70s Boss Mustang, which is, yeah, quite a weapon, I believe, this thing. So let's choose ourselves a nice livery. We'll go with that one. We'll go from there. 4 more to go in the classic Trans Am pack, and then we'll jump on to the VRC modern Trans Am cars and just have a bit of a comparison to where the roots were and where it's come through to. Love the louvres on the back of this car as well. You can see on the back window there. Very 70s that. Right. Let's see what this thing's like. A bit more of a raucous V8 than this one. Turn it through here. Except I need to just stop there a second because there we go. Now I can see what you guys are saying. Ah, no. Let me go back to the pits. So, nice as Neos myself, I've just moved to a city where a lot of people don't own cars. It's strange, but lots of e-bikes. Bikes. Oh, okay. I guess if you're in the city, it's not so bad because if there's means and ways of getting around, or maybe it's even quicker to just not bother with a car in the middle of the city. Right. I seem to remember in the Historics mod, the oh no, Power and Glory, I think it was. I can't remember which one it was now, but they had some Trans Am cars as well. I think it was Power and Glory mod actually. But the Boss Mustang was easily the rocket ship of the pack. Right, and the slipstream going up the hill here. Big hole being punched in the air. Just jump in front of it. Obviously didn't like that idea. Please don't hit me. Leave me alone. Actually to find ourselves again. Wait. There we go. We're good. We have the big barge in front of us. Yes, I mean, he was aiming for me, wasn't he? Honestly thought I was going to get collected there. Not a particularly easy spot to recover from the outside of the corkscrew. So Funky says, I'm too casual and skint for a dedicated setup. My ultra-wide is a good compromise for me. Yeah. No, the ultra-wides are pretty good in terms of allowing you to have a little bit more space or view in front of you. My 27 is quite close to me, so I think an ultra-wide I'll just feel absolutely lost. Back to the same kind of characteristics we had earlier on, where you have the rear end just coming around and on the brake, and so you actually have a bit of extra rotation into the corners, which helps. see if we get turned around again. No, got away with it this time. I love backing them into the corners, it's so fun. There's another Mustang. Get ahead of the 65 version. So Cristiano said, I'm going to give you a compliment. On the side you look like a young Willem Dafoe. Okay. I unfortunately don't know who that is, but I shall certainly look him up. There's quite a few lookalikes I've been told I relate to. You reckon so, Martin? Okay, we'll have to take a look. Emphasise the young part. Okay. I'm glad I still look young to you guys. It's a problem with having a nice new camera. It picks up all the extra little details you wouldn't normally see on the old camera. That's through there. 41.4 last time around, so it's not a slow car by any means, this one. Not quite broken into the 40s yet though. Yeah, I think some of the other ones I've been likened to, I think is it Peter Coleman, the Irish rally driver. There's one very similar, and also I remember his name as well, the motoring journalist for Haggerty, whatever his name is now. Forever been told I look like other people. Which is good, I can probably hide. There's a slower lap there, I have to negotiate some other cars. We'll do one more to see if we can break into the 40s with this thing, so I think we probably can if we actually hook a lap up. See what we can do. Serious qualifying mode on. Too bad for you there. Henry Catchpole, that's the name that just came to me. You know, you remember things just when you aren't talking about them anymore. We've got a clean track here, so this is a perfect opportunity to see what this thing can do. No additional obstacles to negotiate or distractions. Just me and the road ahead. So for big US muscle cars, they don't take corners too badly actually. Some of them anyway, some of them are a bit difficult than others. There we go. That's what happens when you can put it all together. A 39.5 with this particular car. I'm not surprised to be honest, because that handles really nicely that. Right. 39.5, so we've broken the 40s altogether. Let's carry on through. So later 1970s Camaro. This one has a much different from. There's three different versions of the Camaro in here. So you have the lovely 68 one, which I really like the shape of. 69, which has a slightly different front end on it. I'm not so much of a fan of that one. But this 70s one is also a very, very nice looking car indeed. I like the pointed nose on this one. What should we go with? Let's go with this one. Looks cool. Right. Let's see if it goes over the or below the 39.5 level of performance. This time, this one is about straight line speed. That Mustang, yeah, it seems to go through the corners alright as well, though. So Not too bad. Right. Let's see what this Camaro can do. These later ones should, in theory, be quicker anyway because of the years of development available to the engineers behind them. That's not always the case. But this one is a lot wider and I think probably has slightly larger tyres on it compared to the older Camaro. This is one of your favourites, Samuel? Yeah, it's very nice, this one. I remember when they brought this particular variant out with Racer 7 when they had the retro pack that came out for that. That was a fun pack of cars. Nice rumble to this one as well. It's also quite a engaged drive, this one as well. Look out, here comes the cavalry, just seeing them all piling out the pit lane. Just in time for us to come around turn 1. Such a difficult braking zone turn 1 here at the goodness sake, it's all downhill. And you haven't got amazing brakes in the first place. It becomes rather tricky. There's a late apex. Down to second for this one. Catching up quite heavily in the mid-corner there. Pull past the Cougar on the way up the hill. Yep, well done. Chuck it in here. I feel like a bad lap so far, but we'll see what the time says. Okay, up and over the line, what's it say? A 141.6. Okay, not too bad, but definitely not the quickest by so far. And just throwing it into turn 1 and running out of steering lock to catch that one. That's a cool car though. It looks really nice. Look at that. Even with all the dirt on the side. Yeah, it's just nicely balanced as well. It's not maybe as glued to the road as some of the other ones, but it's nice to just throw that one around. Kicking up the dust again on the exit. Isn't that fantastic? Right. Let's watch him into here as well. The flame from the exhaust. Very nice. Okay. 2 to go in this section. So we have a Dodge Challenger. This is the later Dodge that we have. So the original D-Dart. Now we have the Challenger. So let's test this one out. So Marty says, girlfriend from past had a black classic Charger convertible. Pretty sure that's why we got together. Still had it in storage all these years later. Oh, okay. All right, Kevin, your dad had a Mercury Cougar. Awesome. Love them. I think they're really cool. That's the thing. Yeah. I wish I grew up in the States, I suppose, because I'd love to have had a Mustang or a Camaro or something in the family for years and then just keep passing it down and things. I think that'd be really fun. Frank's a DIY man as well, so pocket seat mounted to a second-hand sofa. Next level MacGyver. Good to have some ingenuity, isn't it? Quite an accommodating bunch of sim racers, aren't we? Quite happy to do some things to make the most of what we have. Right. Big car, this Charger. Oh, sorry, Challenger. Get another big scoop on the bonnet. This feels quite heavy, actually. The Camaro ahead of us is pretty tiny by comparison. So Marty says, update, my cat has finally accepted the butt kicker exists. Are they friends, or are they still unsure? But acknowledgement, I suppose, is the first step. So Kevin says his cat's never minded at all, just sniffs it and carries on. This thing is quite the large car, and you can feel it. It's weird, isn't it, how you can actually feel things like that, given that we have such limited inputs available to us to actually get a feel of what's going on with the car. But just through the steering and the way that the car's moving around on the road, you just have this understanding that it's quite a heavy and sluggish kind of car. Glad we missed that count. That would have been a write-off and an insurance claim. Despite the weight, I think it's not too bad actually. You can turn it into a corner and it will comply. It will turn into a corner, no problem. You just need to be a little bit slower with things. You just need to take your time, because this car is not to be rushed. You just have to ease it through the corners. Crystal says the culture shock when you get in that modern TA2 car. Yeah, it's going to be significantly different, I'm sure. Oh no! Missed the shift. Right. One more corner. Let's see what it does. Over the line. Power down. .42.7. Let's see what happens if we hit this. Yep. As expected. It wasn't quite as catastrophic, but it was certainly enough to put us off there. Yeah, I mean, look at the size of it, and the width of the car as well. It's just enormous. You can just see it just moving around on the surface of the road. It's pretty cool. Doesn't look like it belongs on a racetrack, really, does it? But it handles itself pretty well. So, pretty good. Right. Last one then. On the classic side of things, anyway. And this is the later Firebird, which kind of followed a very similar look to the Camaro, really, with the pointed front end. So this is another really nice car as well. I love the look of the 70s Firebird. Then the yeah, that one maybe not so much. Wasn't there another one? No, it's just the two of them on this one. But yeah, that front end not so keen on, but that one just looks the business. So we're gonna drive this one. And yeah, see how we go. It belongs on a drag strip. The Challenger, definitely. Christina says also, Phil, do you have a Discord? Yes, indeed, we do have a Discord. Usually, Nightbot will come up with a link in chat there. But yep, absolutely, we have a Discord channel. That should be linked down in the description below as well. So feel free to come join us. Right. This one sounds good. I love looking into the back of the scoop here as well. Ah, Funky, no problem at all. Thanks for being here in the first place. You know, spending your evening with me. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. That's 7. Have a rewatch as well, Funky, when we get onto the TA2 cars which are coming next. I think that might be interesting to see the comparison. But I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Nice, this Camaro sounds classy when Phil says it. Right, what should it be? Should it be? Is it Camaro? I'm never quite sure if it's Camaro or Camaro. I always call it Camaro. Probably wrong. It just sounds more aggressive. Like it should fit that particular car. Oh wow, this thing's nice. That was not the line into there way too tight. It's okay. Well, to be honest, of all of the cars we've driven so far on the classic side of things, this actually feels the most sorted so far. Which are kind of you'd expect if it's the one of the later versions. Thanks, Funky, appreciate it. I'll see you later. See you next time. The Cristianos and Marty both correcting my pronunciation there, so it's Camaro, is it? Okay. Something aero about it, is it? That was aero as a brick. But doesn't mean I don't love it though. You say Camaro as well, okay. Maybe I should start pronouncing it properly. I'll probably slip back into the old ways, I'm sure. Short shift a second there, just to try and capture some of that wheel spin. Shame. The I was just going to say the sounds really make a big difference, don't they? I mean, with this one, you really feel a lot more connected to it when you're driving because of the different noises it makes. Obviously, when you're going past walls and things, but just the blips on the downshifts and the overall just kind of feeling of the car through the sound is much nicer and all hooks up. But this one sounds really, really good. 8. I honestly thought we were gonna get to 10 or double figures at least before we'd finish the the classic ones. We're not far off. So Marty says you really require a mullet to drive a Camaro. Yeah. I'm not too au fait with the culture behind it, but you've given me a bit of an insight there, Marty. Whereas this one is a Firebird. At least I can get that one right. Well, you tell me it's pronounced Firebird. Just love the noise bouncing off the wall. So good. That's a 41.5, so not too bad. There were a couple of moments like that in the lap as well, so I'm pretty sure there's more time in that. But as far as feel-wise is concerned, this thing is really nice. It just good weight and nice kind of neutral balance of handling. It's not hugely understeery. It's also not just uncontrollably oversteery, but yeah, it looks brilliant, this thing. The older Camaro in the background. So yeah, I'm still going to say it the way I'm used to saying it. Oh dear. It looks so good though. I love the look of that Firebird. Beautiful. Right. Time for a slight change. So we've driven all the AC Legends Trans Am cars. Now for something slightly different. So we're going to go down to the bottom of our list down here and pick up some of these VRC cars. So this is the TA2 cars. So there's two different versions. We have the Chevrolet, obviously licensing issues there, and then the Mare, which is the Mustang. Now these things are yeah, more like your space frame chassis with different body shells on them, and they are quite different from what we've just seen, whereas they've been more road cars converted for racing purposes, where these are purely race prepared. So interesting to see what the differences here are going to be like. So let's try the Chevrolet first. We've got some pretty cool looking livery options in here. That's nice with the blue with the yellow flashes. That's quite cool. Some fluoro colours in there. There we go. Yeah, I'm a fan of that one, and I also like this one, so I'm going to try that one. We'll clear off our list of classic Trans Am cars for now, and we'll add in these two, just like that. Right. So 139.5 was the car. Was the time to beat from the classics. Let's see what the TA2s can manage around here. I suspect it could be. Oh, we dare say 5 seconds quicker per lap, maybe. If we aim for 35.5. Right, these cars then. I mean, look at this, we have proper dash on there. Okay. Chat in here so you guys see what you guys are doing. Completely different. Yeah, very much similar to the Euro NASCAR cars, but with aero. We've got a rear wing on here as well. Hey Storm and Norman, where can we get this mod? He says this particular mod is available from VRC, which is virtual racing cars. So if you have a quick search online, they have their own web shop which you can get these ones from. They come as a pack of the two cars. A quick listen to the sounds here. This sounds pretty aggressive, right? Now these cars aren't sequential gearbox, so you'd think more modern cars like this might lean towards the sequential side of things, but no. They've retained the H-pattern gearbox in these things, so let's see. Feels quite quite bouncy. Let's try and get out a pit lane here. Wow, okay. Four-speed manual, apparently, according to Cristianos. So only 4 gears to worry about again. Do feel these are going to take some getting used to. Wow. The snap when the power comes in there. I think maybe 5 seconds quicker it might be a bit ambitious, actually. Hang on a second. What's going on here? What am I doing wrong? Let's just turn feedback down ever so slightly for this one. Like that. This is very different. You feel really skittish, actually. I mean, obviously, the older Trans Am cars would be a lot softer, so the reaction to the bumps is very, very different. Whereas this feels like every single bump you hit will just send it off in a different direction. I do like the depth of sound on the gear changes there, though. There's a nice little kind of pop and bang just as you go in. Some crackles on the overrun as well. The corkscrew is going to be my undoing in this car. Maybe I'll just... okay. Not going to let this defeat me. Maybe I just need to use the torque more. Maybe being in first gear for some of these slower corners isn't always the best option. Got some traction loss lights just to let me know that this thing doesn't have much. Right, come on, Phil. Can't be that difficult. It's got a weird force feedback, actually. It kind of... it's all tight in the middle, and then all of a sudden you get a huge pull from one to the other. Well, that's just my setup, which is not quite right, but... come on, let's just cork that screw, yeah. Well and truly. The skill issues are showing. Oh no, they're becoming visible. Alright. So what am I needing to do here then? Just pushing on like absolute crazy. Let's go back to the pits a second. Let's have a look in the setup options here. What have we got? Slick DH or rain whip. Okay, well it's obviously gonna have to be slicks, but I don't know, it just seems like it pushes on really strongly. Didn't actually mean to click that then, but obviously it registered it. Well, we'll try some coast adjustments. I do feel like I need to soften the suspension a little bit. I don't know if it's been ruined, but ruined by the classic ones or not, but right. Concentrate now. Just a car. There's nothing more to it than that. And I've broken my windscreen. Okay, well that change worked wonderful. Let's just go no generic again. Dampers. So soften some dampers off a little bit here. And what else we got? Right, some things. Let's pop those down a little bit. And see what happens. Yeah, it just seems to react really weirdly when I turn in. It's I like seeing the, you can see the wiper moving in the middle there actually, do you see that? It's just moving around a little bit. It's not staying put. Because you're watching the wiper, not where I'm going, right. I encountered that as one. It's the first one with the, the TA2 cars. Okay, well, I felt a little bit better going into that. Okay. Proof is how it handles the corkscrew. It's better. When I say better, I actually made it through unscathed. AI is slow. Even slower than me. Okay, there must be a technique to this then. It's got to be. Let's take it nice and easy. It's pretty wild. Two. Okay, I'll go right through there. So Frank, so the AC windscreen should cancel though, quite similar to this like 40 years ago, and better too. maybe I'm just being too rough with it, with the controls, so the throttle and braking things. That one every single time. Just getting used to the width of the thing. Okay. Things are settling down perhaps a little bit now. This, of course, it's a tyre temp issue. Definitely the AI struggling to be anything but quick. Oops. Cut. It's so twitchy. Leave it a second for the final corner, maybe. No, needs to get under first. Just bogs down. Well, we are quicker. The 36 last time around. That was a 37. Maybe it's just deceptive. I didn't think it was actually that much quicker than the classic ones, to be honest. But let's try and lower that lap time a bit. Why they put those sausage curves there, so people don't hit them. I seem to be aiming for them. It's almost as if the AI aren't even accelerating. Okay. It's time to string things together a little bit here now. Still got to be on your toes though. Should be a better lap. Let's see what happens this time around. 36.6. So we're 4 seconds quicker than the classic ones so far. On a relatively short lap, that's not too bad. Yeah, the transmission whining away as we go into these corners. Managed to miss all the sausage curve that time around. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great dinner. Hope it's something nice. Have a great weekend to you too. Oh dear. One slip of the right foot and off we go. Okay, well, that's not quite what I was expecting. I was expecting that to be a little bit more... No. I like the state of that. Oops. Turn the... there we go. Now we can look at it in its glory. Except we turn the camera off and it's back to being dirty again. I mean, they do look fantastic, don't they? I mean, the cars themselves look amazing. It's like I've been doing the dirt ovals at Bristol or something. They do look good on track though, I'll admit. Right, well that's the Chevrette. Let's see if the Mare's any different. Detroit Belle Isle, Cristanos. I did see. I don't have it actually. Not quite sure where to find it either. But I have to give that a try later on. This is the Mustang version then. Let's load in with this. Quite cool. Choose that livery. I don't suspect there'll be any massive difference in terms of performance between this and the Chevrette, but we'll drive them both anyway, and then we'll put them on track with the with the classic ones and see how they compare together.
Copyright by VRC.
The rumble, right? Lovely details in this. You can see the wiring on the dashboard there, and all the very sturdy bonnet catches on the front there. Sorry, being given the hurry up by the guys in the pit lane behind me. Just ignore pit lane exit. Let's see if this is any different. Of course, this one's got force feedback strength right up as well. See if we can get away with it for now. Ah. This one drives very differently. In terms of its force feedback anyway. It doesn't have that weird snap once you get past the central kind of zone. It still has that kind of pull to the right or left, depending which way you're going, but even in default format this thing is much more manageable than the Chevrette. Oh dear, we have to turn the force feedback down, that's quite strong, even from my non-muscly arms. My stick arms are struggling with this. Yeah, this is far more drivable. Right, let's just get that up. Force feedback control and just turn that down a little bit as we buzz the engine. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, this is much more drivable. So maybe there are some differences compared to what I thought there would be in terms of chassis and things. This Ford, or the Mare, definitely feels much nicer to drive. Gassing over the top of the corkscrew there. Right, this one should definitely give us the lap time we're looking for, I think. So let's see. Yeah, there you go, 31.3. What a difference. Does sound different, doesn't it? Just ever so slightly. Yeah, I definitely much prefer this one. How high does it rev? It's a good question. I can't quite see the dash. It's passing the AI like they're standing still. This is a very different animal, this thing. More controllable when it steps up too. I suspect this would be a quicker lap time as well, so let's see, over the line, yeah, 30.9. So we're almost 9 seconds a lap quicker than our previous best. We'll take it for one more lap and then we'll get them on track together with the classics and see how we go. Still trying to gauge the width of it. AI seem to be really struggling. Well, it's too early in there, but it's not. Okay. Looks to me, I was just too busy trying to look at the the dash then. Looks to me just in the 6,000 range for revs. Look how good that looks though. Slightly less dirty than the old one as well. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's see if there's any actual rev camera that we can put on here. I'm pretty sure there used to be like a rounded version as well. I was looking at there, but it's fine. Yeah, definitely the Mustang version is my favourite out of the two. Not just because I can drive it better than the Chevette. I don't know, this seems to handle nicer, more consistent as well. It's really cool. Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's get up to high rev, say like there, and then if we go my gloves off here, then we'll go inside the cockpit here. You can see what the dash says. The photo mode on, and we will change the focus. There you go. So just over 6,000 RPM is the where the shift light is. So 6.5. Good shot. Focus on there, then we can let's go back on board with it. Sit on here. Watch the driver at work. Keeping the gear sticks wobbling now, that's quite cool, neat little touch. It's like one of these rotating cameras you get in V8 Supercar broadcasts. We've got a peep mirror on the quarter light there as well, which I didn't notice. Sit back here a little bit. Just watch that one disappear. That's fun. I can play around with that for ages. Right. Well, let's chuck some of the other cars on track as well. Where are we? Here we are. Oops. Process of adding these all back in again. Right, 2 more. Go. Go again. So 23 opponents. Let's load in. To turn the feedback down again. I didn't save it last time as well, so we'll do that.
Copyright by VRC.
Alright, still on that. I'll just turn it down just a touch more. There we go. Right. Now we have the classics on board with us as well. There they are. Let's see what the difference is like. Just tiptoeing through the exit of the pit lane. Obviously, look at the difference in the cornering. It's just so flat in the TA2 cars in comparison. Put your foot down. You just breeze on past. Hey Kevin, welcome along. Says these cars look cool. Have a good stream. We'll catch up on it later as doing family stuff today. All right, no problem. Thanks for popping in. Even with turning the force river now, it's still pretty strong. Oops, let's unlock it. Right, more cars coming out to play. Let's have some fun here. Things skating around a little bit. Oh, there's our next target. Just gone through the corner of the head here. Let's hunt him down. Popping and crackling there sounded amazing. Closing in. Christelle says, you must enjoy sausage very much. Actually, I can't stand them. You wouldn't think so. casually past 2 cars into the final corner. It's not really fair, is it? Getting used to this thing now. More so. I did it again. Need more space film. Okay, next lap I'm not gonna touch a single sausage curve, okay? Watch this. Traffic ahead. And the outside we go. So this is the lap then. Well, a single sausage curve here now. It doesn't mean I can just poodle around and go really slowly and avoid them. Still going to push on, but this time I'm not going to touch any of those red sausage curbs. There you go, missed that one. We didn't touch a sausage curb. We did touch another car though. That's the speed differential for you. Heavy hit on the inside wall as well. Alright, well, you can see the difference between the old and the new. They're quite different to look at. I mean, if we put them side by side, right? Okay. Let's take a look at this because contrasts are enormous here. Let's F5 mode here. There we go. Old 60s Camaro. Just a little duckbill spoiler on the back end there, nothing more than that. Whereas the new TA2s, huge rear wing. They are quite the advancement in race car technology, and as you can see, it's not just on the outside as well. The inside, you got all the electronics and the the digital dashboard and all the other developments which have been put into the cars as they've gone along the way. But which one do you prefer? I mean, are you going to have as much fun driving one of these as you are maybe one of those? I don't know. It's questionable. I mean, I did enjoy driving this this TA2 car. Eventually, we got there. But I think for something you can just pick up and just throw around a track, I think you can't really go too far wrong with these classic Trans Am cars. They're just really nice and just fun to drive. And some of them are better than others, but in general, they are very, very good and definitely worth picking up. As are the new TA2s as well, which they're fun cars to drive. They're a bit of a challenge, but we love a good challenge every now and again to get the most out of ourselves. But yeah, that pretty much sums us up for the evening, guys. It's been fun just going through some of these classic cars and just yeah, having a blast on track with them. So I hope you've enjoyed that as well. If you have, please feel free to drop a like below so that YouTube knows you like it too. But yeah, big thank you for your company this evening. It's been great to share the evening with you once again. Yeah, thank you for your comments. Thanks for your inputs as well as we've gone along. Yeah, good fun. But we'll be back again with another live stream later on next week. We'll look at the new ACC content which comes out this week. But yeah, we'll also be hopefully putting some pre-recorded videos up as well. We'll work on getting those going as well, so that should be fun. But yeah, thanks guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you very, very soon indeed. But for now, it's goodbye from me. We'll see you next time.